So, what is your name?
My name is Anna Pinto.
Okay.
I'm from India, from an indigenous peoples organization
Ah.
based in the northeast region of India.
And so, Anna, you are in Pittsburgh in the U.S., and you are here to basically discuss climate justice outside of the coal conference and also to just discuss justice in general, right? Outside the G20. So, what are you here exactly to say?
I'm here to say a few things, partly because my country is also here in the G20, and so is the US, and I think that there are decisions being made here which are going to affect the lives of all the people in my country because of the economic policies and decisions, the trade agreements that the G20 is going to set, because of the violence that will accompany and is, in a sense, strategized to accompany these economic decisions and to enforce them on people who don't want these things to happen in their lands and in their countries. And also because these decisions are going to impact really substantially and negatively on the climate, on biodiversity, and on the futures of our children.
Okay. So, do you see the G20 as a solution? Um, India is in the G20, right?
That's right.
Do you see the G20 as a solution? Do you have faith that your government leaders and and the leaders of the 19 other nations participating are actually going to do anything of that will help?
I don't think that they are going to do anything to help people. They're going to do a whole lot to help industry, transnational corporations of all countries. Basically, this is a corporation deal, a corporate agreement, because all these governments are totally dependent on corporate sponsorships to get elected, to survive, and hopefully for them to get elected again. So they will not diverge very far from the commercial and industrial agenda that corporates set.
Hmm.
And that is not going to be good for any of us as people.
Right. And so, what kinds of solutions do you think will pose the answer to the global economic crisis and the climate crisis?
Ironically, though a lot of vested interests uh, put development and climate interests in opposition, in fact, they are not. Good development decisions are good climate and biodiversity decisions. Good development decisions would return the commons to the commons. They
Hmm.
would set frameworks in which certain things are not tradable and not traded, such as the air, the water, human beings, land,
Hmm.
and key land resources as they are called. These things are not tradable and should not be traded. So, a good development agenda would ensure that, first of all, and this would be good for the climate.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So one last question. Do you have family still back in India?
Oh,
And if
yes,
so, yes, could you tell me a little about your family and how they might be impacted by the wrong types of solutions and just kind of talk about how you would like to see the right kinds of solutions impact them.
my family suffers because of contaminated and poor water quality. My own family, in my home,
Hmm.
uh, water shortages, flood, flash flood, damage to the natural drainage system, which exacerbates floods, food shortages that are caused both by the floods and by the water scarcity,
Okay.
health problems because of mosquitoes breeding, malaria, because of cholera, gastrointestinal diseases, other airborne and waterborne diseases that come with stagnant water. Uh, yeah, my own family is impacted.
Hmm.
In
And
my home, well, a month ago, because of the kind of rains and flash, you know, untimely and unseasonal rains, half my ceiling fell in.
oh
My
my
home, my
gosh.
ceiling. Yeah, I'm impacted.
Okay. And but if we enact the right kinds of solutions, these types of things will not happen.
Yeah, we'd have better building materials, which doesn't mean cement and concrete.
Hmm.
It means we would have access to better traditional building materials, which wouldn't cost $2,000 to replace, for example.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, I am sorry for the